Hello, today I'm joined with Rufat, Smoothstack's former talent success lead, and today I'd just like to pick his brain at some questions I've got for him. So, Rufat, what do you think were some of the main challenges for entry-level software engineers?
Thank you, Josh. So when I was working at Smoothstack, I've actually interviewed over 500 engineers, and I've heard a lot of challenges. For example, lack of degree, networking. Some people live in some areas that made it even harder for them to network. It can be time, people work and they don't have enough time to study up on new technologies, or different job descriptions that are confusing and they don't know which tech stack they should learn to land a job. But I think these are the challenges they could overcome on their own, even though it's going to be hard. But the main challenge is entry-level engineers are missing the professional experience on large-scale enterprise projects. And this is something you cannot achieve on your own without an actual employer, and it becomes a big obstacle for them to land a job. Smoothstack is really solving this problem. And I've seen your videos where you ask engineers what made them join Smoothstack. I noticed that those are the people who really identified those areas and were able to grasp this hire, train, and deploy model, and as well as recognize the main product of Smoothstack, which is the opportunity to kickstart their tech career.
So, how does Smoothstack solve some of those problems?
So the way Smoothstack solves these problems is through so-called training, but we know that it's way different from a traditional training. First, it is paid, so they really don't have to work elsewhere to study. And second, it's more of a simulated work environment where they not necessarily study, but they unleash their potential. And the way they do it is through solving complex problems, getting a bunch of support from senior engineers, getting exposure to new methodologies and technologies. And this really helps them gain that confidence, which makes them hit the ground running once they join Smoothstack's partners. And I also remember when I was working at Smoothstack, I would meet with clients to gather some feedback on their performance. And they were telling me that, Rufat, if you didn't tell us that these engineers are just starting their career, we would assume that they've been around for a while, which was pretty impressive and also flattering, I would say.
So, what are some of the common misconceptions that you've heard pop up for Smoothstack?
The common misconception, not necessarily about Smoothstack, but in general about hire, train, deploy model, is that most people think, oh, I'll probably lock myself in and just a way to get your foot in the door, then I'll figure it out later, or it's just a stepping stone to my dream company. But if you look at Smoothstack's employer partners, you can see that those companies are Fortune 500 companies. And it's very possible that some of those companies are already on the vision board of those engineers. What I've seen when I was working at Smoothstack, I saw so many engineers converting into full-time employees of those partner companies. And after their partnership with Smoothstack ended, and some engineers would even get promoted within that partnership period. And if you ask those engineers where they would see themselves working for those companies, they would probably say that maybe in like 3 years or 5 years after they gain experience at smaller companies or startups. But guess what? They're already working with those companies.
To riff on what you're saying a little bit, it's very interesting what you bring up, because while there is a lot of emphasis on that initial period, like that hire and train period, what really matters at the end of the day is long-term career success. So it's very cool to hear from your experiences that you've seen those promotions happen and pop up really quickly, and that there is a pathway forward for success. So thank you, Rufat. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Good luck, Josh.